On September 14th, 2015, gravitational waves were discovered. But what are they? Let's find out.
Gravitational waves were first predicted by Albert Einstein in his general theory of relativity, but they were first discovered in 2015. Gravitational waves stretch and contract matter they pass through, just like ripples in the water move the surface up and down. These waves contain the information on how they were created. But what can create gravitational waves? Well, humans can create them. Airplanes can also create them, and so can cars. So can do cars. Basically, anything that's capable of acceleration can create gravitational waves. But the question is, why? Let's imagine that this piece of fabric is space-time. If you put anything that has mass on space-time, it will bend around the object. Now, what happens if we move the object? Well, the space-time will become flat again, but our object hasn't disappeared, so space-time in another spot will bend again. This change will create energy. That energy is going to be dispersed on our fabric in the form of gravitational waves. However, there's one problem. These gravitational waves will be very tiny because our object is little and has little mass. We cannot observe really small gravitational waves. That's why we cannot observe gravitational waves from humans, planes, and cars. But if we take something bigger, like let's say a black hole or a neutron star, and put it on our fabric, the fabric will bend way more. And if we move that object, the energy created will be way bigger, causing it to create way bigger gravitational waves. And those gravitational waves we can observe. That's why we can only observe gravitational waves that are created by black holes, neutron stars, and others. Scientists at LIGO have discovered there are 4 types of gravitational wave sources, and each wave has its own special signature. I'm going to talk about the one that was discovered September 14th, and that's the compact binary inspiral gravitational wave. Now, what's so special about them? Well, they're built on a binary system. A binary system is a system where we have 2 objects revolving around each other. In this situation, it can either be a black hole or a neutron star. Now, the waves that were discovered September 14th were binary black holes. Now, how does a binary system create gravitational waves? Well, in a binary system, we've got 2 objects revolving around each other. Because these objects move at a variable rate, they create gravitational waves. These gravitational waves are energy, which means they lose the system's orbital energy, something which keeps them from colliding. This forces the objects to come closer, which again creates even stronger gravitational waves, and which causes the system to have less orbital energy. And that happens over and over until the 2 objects merge, and when they merge, they let out one final giant gravitational wave. And that's the gravitational wave that we discovered. Why is the discovery of gravitational waves important? First, it may help us study objects that don't emit any light, like black holes and neutron stars. Second of all, it may help us study supernovas. Third of all, it can make it easier for us to find objects that emit gravitational waves quicker than light-based telescopes. It also affirms a giant part of Einstein's general theory of relativity. And lastly, someday we may find gravitational waves that were created by the Big Bang. And thanks to these gravitational waves, we may learn what happened at the start of our universe.